Welcome back to Deano's Garage. Now today we're going to be fitting a cruise control system to this VFR 800 Crossrunner. Now there are a few types of cruise control systems out there. To name a few, you've got the Atlas system, which looks like this, and the KAOKO system, which looks like this, and there are lots of aftermarket replicas of that type of system out there. There is even sort of an aftermarket or copy, if you like, of the Atlas system also. The other option is to fit a fully electric alternative to your bike. These are quite costly, normally around say £1,000 for each fitment to your bike, and it goes directly into your ECU. So arguably the closest thing to a factory fitted type of cruise control system, but clearly quite costly. We're fitting the KAOKO system. The KAOKO system is a friction system, and you'll see in more detail how that works in just a while. And hopefully what we'll do in part 2 of this is look at it on the road and how it actually works in real life, day to day, as we travel. But let's get started on fitting this right now. So, as I say, we're fitting the KAOKO system. Now this is what we call a knolled nut friction system. I'll open it up for you right now, and then we can have a look together at what it actually looks like. So KAOKO make specific types of their system to fit your exact model, so it's obviously very important that you select that when you actually choose which one for your bike. Now with this type here, this is to suit my heated grip type of the VFR 800 Crossrunner, and as you can see, I'll just come up close, give it time to focus. We can see here that this is an expanding bolt type fitment. As you tighten this Allen key, what it will actually do is pull this in, slide those two apart, so it becomes an expanding fitment within the end of your bars. But we'll again look at that in some detail more closely as we fit it. So as I said before, with my bike it's the HND 320. Give you a lovely sticker, but what they also give you is proper decent fitting instructions. So again, we'll look at these closer up now before we get on and fit this to the bike. Right, so what I do want to do is just show you a little bit more in detail as to what is in this kit. There aren't many components to this, but we just want to look at it a bit more up close and see what we've got. Right, so here are the instructions. They give us some decent detail, show us the throttle, the rubber grip, the thrust washer, which is this comes with your kit, so this is vitally important that you've got the thrust washer, that's part of the kit. Then we have the friction nut, which is this bit here, and between our, in effect, our bar end, which is what this silver part is, there is a rubber O-ring, and that is there to give the correct distance between the friction nut and the end of your bar end. So that is pretty much it. They do supply a tiny Allen key, and that is to undo this little grub screw here, which again we'll talk about in some detail in a little bit as we're fitting the kit. But that's it. Not much to it at all. Let's get on now and look at fitting it. Right, so that's our old bar end completely removed, with the inner part, the expanding part, completely removed. So all we're left with the end of your handlebar. You can see the plastic sleeve, the tubular part, which is in effect your throttle tube, and then the grip, and in our case this is a heated grip, a standard heated grip. So now that we've removed that, we can take this, which is our friction washer, which is supplied as part of the kit. That sits against the plastic sleeve, and then this will go in after as the bar end. So let's get on and fit those now. So this 2mm gap that they're talking about is here, in this bit here. So if I rotate this, it increases that gap. If I do it clockwise, it reduces that gap, and we need the gap here to be approximately 2mm. The Allen key that they supply is a 2mm Allen key. So if we rotate this anti-clockwise until this fits in snugly and just as a bit of resistance, which is there, that's our 2mm gap between those two. So it then said slide it into there after, but we've already established that's 2mm, and now that's slid in and got that thrust washer or friction washer in place. So then we can firmly grip the body of this and tighten the central retaining bolt to fit it all into position. So that's the correct size Allen key. So firmly grip this and then tighten that expanding bolt. Then it says, carefully set the rotational resistance of the friction nut, that's this here, by tightening or loosening the grub screw. Then the resistance of that is much tighter, so that's fairly tight. In readiness for engagement, the friction nut must be adjusted so it makes light contact against the thrust washer, the plastic washer. So that's no resistance, so light resistance. That's beginning to have resistance now. You can just see it's tightening up that throttle, making it so the throttle goes back, but it's actually only just going back. So that's pretty easy to go back. And then if I anti-clockwise, it's harder and then stops. So there we go, that just returned. Because what's going to happen is when you're riding and you want this to actually lock, so imagine I'm riding, what I actually do is do that, and it locks the throttle into position now, so you're at cruise control. So let's just explain that again. So at the moment the throttle returns as normal. If we turn this so it just has enough resistance to stop the throttle going back, so that's enough resistance to stop it going back. Now imagine that we are going along the motorway and we're doing 60 odd miles an hour and I'm holding the throttle like that, and you know that's going along at some speed. What I can then do is actually turn that so it locks the throttle into position, and now we're at cruise control. If I then want to slow down, if I release the throttle, that's fine. If I then bring it back, it's in a locked position because there's enough friction between this and this. If I don't want any cruise control whatsoever, I can just simply turn both. That releases the pressure off of here against the washer, and my throttle will return as normal. If I want cruise control, I can then do that and it holds the throttle in a locked position. So the moment we release this, the throttle is released with it. If we want to go along and we're doing a speed where we want cruise control, we can then lock that, and it locks the two together. So there we go, that's it fitted now. Just took me a few minutes to fit. If it wasn't for the original bar end, then I think this would have been, you know, just a few minutes in itself. So yeah, the KAOKO system is what I would say a really easy system to fit, and let's hope a really easy and basic system to use as well. There are other options out there. If it's this type of system you're going to go for, then I would stick to the original and best. I wouldn't go for a cheap aftermarket substitute just to save a bit of money. This is cruise control we're talking about here. So yeah, thanks for watching Deano's Garage, and as always, it does help to subscribe to my channel. There are 87 plus videos now, and I'll be adding more videos along the way. So if you found this one helpful, please click that like button, it always helps. As always, thanks for watching.